Did I mention that I'm in Berlin? It's Friday now, June 24th, 2011, having arrived a week early. After the travesty of Paris and the blown-out, sluggish dead end of Amsterdam, I simply skipped Brussels and went right in for the kill. Germany is special to me for a variety of reasons. Chiefly, the symbolic defeat of fascism. Second, I was partially indoctrinated by German industrial. Third, Berlin is widely considered to be the counterculture apex of Europe, breeding some of the most gorgeous women on earth. That much said, it should have began beautifully and effortlessly, as indeed the dawning hours were. I'd hopped off the Eurolines coach near a huge park with a glistening lake where Germans were walking dogs and doing yoga. I snapped cheap brews from the petrol station since it was now legal to wander around public openly intoxicated, and I just wanted to follow the letter of the law to a T. Imagine the brilliance of staggering around a mall in pajama pants, scratching your ass and staring at mannequins sipping whiskey. This totally insignificant action held so much gravity and ballooned in maniac scope when you realize the bus and subways are automatically factored in. The notion from the get-go was to march right up to the KOPI like a punk rock soldier and present my case to whomever looked semi-official. I was intent to volunteer all my energy and live some dramatically crust existence of haggard bliss, because, as everyone explained, it was the squat to end all squats. The KOPI is the surrealistic wet dream of every 14-year-old punk kid worldwide. It had been around since 1990, an ex-Soviet armory that punks took over shortly after the wall fell. They simply stormed in and declared it liberated, quickly rendering it the anarcho-hive of the continent. 21 years later, KOPI 137 is the absolute crust paradise of Earth, the grindcore equivalent of the Egyptian pyramids. The anarcho-complex has 5 stories, hundreds of rooms, every syndicalist trade comprehensible incorporated into its vast autonomous web. Perimeter fenced in by a hybrid of barbed wire and concrete, the guts of the yard wrap around an overgrown urban forest that shields a labyrinthian maze of tents and trailers. I approached the gates of this beast in the pouring rain, soaked from head to toe. One lone figure on the steps was there to greet me, a hard-edged 19-year-old Eastern European crusty, stinking like armpits and missing teeth. He's flanked by street dogs that playfully wrestle each other in the mud. "Look, man, I'm a journalist from the States writing a book on punk rock. I'd like to volunteer, maybe interview some people if that's cool. Who should I talk to?" The crusty gives me a misanthropic powerhouse death stare. "I don't give a fuck," snarling his jaw like a Texan grandpa spotting 2 homos French kissing. "Look, man, I'm on the level. I'm not some cop or anything. I just left the USA 'cause it's a nightmare and I fucking detest most of those people. I never want to go back." Misanthrope snarls again, with a vertical eye scan. "I don't give a fuck. You come in here dressed like that. I don't give a fuck." Okay, now it is true that I might have not appeared so much with the in-crowd per se. I hate feeling obligated to wear an exploited shirt just to fit in because my attitude is very nothing to prove. But yeah, sure, okay, I could have flanked myself with some bare minimum punkaflage like a choking victim hoodie. Stupidly, I approached the haggard one wearing a hodgepodge of leftovers because everything else had cat piss sweat stench from 3 solid weeks of armpit ragging. I had on soaked green khakis, a short-sleeved black dress shirt, and was wearing tennis shoes. Not goony bright ones, mind you, but mud-caked sneakers. I mean, you can't just backpack Europe in army boots. It's just too damn painful. The janky, see-through raincoat I ground-scored at Trigort didn't help much either. Or the sleazy, bright red beard that had grown in. I must have looked like some misplaced pro-journalist wearing a garbage bag for protection. "Look, man, these aren't my normal clothes. All my shit's dirty as fuck. I traveled all the way from London just to volunteer. You seriously gonna tell me to fuck off?" Shithead gazes down at his own stereotypical scumware to prove a point of grime and continues shaking his head. "I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck." So this leaves 2 options. Either I strip naked right now, diarrhea shit all over the yard, and roll around in my own feces spray screaming, "Fuck Jesus Christ! Fuck Jesus Christ! Fuck!" Or just come back tomorrow when shithead will probably have overdosed in a corner and starving dogs will be eating his flesh piece by piece. I abandon the KOPI and it starts raining hard, flooding the streets. It's cold and miserable. No one speaks English. I'm in something of a warehouse district with graffiti and barbed wire everywhere. Am I seriously to sleep beneath an awning on Kupfernicker Strasse and not crust Eden? Some possible deathhood in East Berlin awakening to the ghosts of the Stasis? I burned so frantically to inaugurate Berlin with anarcho-utopia, some expertly choreographed red and black colossus within the tomb of historical fascism. But instead I got a 19-year-old kid too punk rock for his own good. Bloody hell, if that isn't the bottom line of punk rock anyway. The the bottom line is always that same angry kid telling you that everything you represent sucks because you're old.